Patuloy na nagbibigay serbisyo, pag-asa at saya. GMA Regional TV, kapuso ng bawat Pilipino. This is GMA Regional TV Weekend News.
Good evening. This is your GMA Regional TV Weekend News. The biggest, the latest as local news matters. Luan Merondina.
Alan Domingo.
Cecil Kibod Castro broadcasting live from GMA Complex in Cebu.
And this evening, we will also be joined by our counterparts from different regions. Jasmine Gabriel Galban from GMA Regional TV Balitang Amyanan and Rain Palino from GMA RTV Bicol.
As well as Nico Sereno of GMA RTV Balitang Vista.
Also joining us are Adrian Prietos from GMA RTV 1 Western Visayas and Cyril Chavez from GMA Regional TV 1 Mindanao.
As experts continue to develop vaccines to fight COVID-19, the number of infected persons is still on the rise with almost 25 million cases worldwide, while cases in the Philippines is now over 200,000. We have more in this report. The Johns Hopkins University and Medicine Coronavirus Resource Center logged 24,749,759 COVID-19 cases worldwide, while 16,201,260 have recovered, and the death toll is at 837,353. In the Philippines, COVID-19 cases continue to rise as it now reached 209,544, while recoveries are also steadily increasing at 134,474, with 3,325 deaths. In North Central Luzon, there are 6,812 COVID-19 confirmed cases, 3,848 recoveries, and 187 deaths. According to the latest report from the DOH Center for Health Development, Region 1 has 735 confirmed cases. Region 3 or Central Luzon now has 5,294 COVID-19 cases. 783 confirmed cases are recorded in the Cordillera region. Current confirmed cases of COVID-19 in Bicol region is at 1,220 with 610 recoveries and 37 deaths. 448 of them are from Albay, 466 in Camarines Sur, 36 in Camarines Norte, 103 in Sorsogon, 47 in Catanduanes, and 120 in Masbate. In Central Visayas, there are 18,738 COVID-19 positive cases, 2,193 of which are active, 15,443 have recovered, and 1,102 have died. 4,418 cases are in Cebu Province, 131 in Negros Oriental, 200 in Bohol, and 3 cases were recorded in Siquijor. In Metro Cebu cities, 9,582 cases of COVID-19 is in Cebu City, 2,210 in Mandaue City, while Lapu-Lapu City has 2,194 confirmed cases. In Eastern Visayas, according to DOH Region 8, a total of 2,727 COVID cases are recorded with 1,580 recoveries and 19 deaths. This time, Samar has the most number of cases in Region 8 with 1,005. Leyte has 888, Southern Leyte has 214, Northern Samar with 80, Biliran with 72, and 41 positive cases in Eastern Samar. 318 are from Tacloban City, while 109 are from Ormoc City. COVID-19 cases in Western Visayas increased to 4,073. Of this, 1,881 are active cases, 2,132 have already recovered, while death toll increased to 60. Aklan has 10 confirmed cases, 27 in Antique, 52 in Capiz, 44 in Guimaras, 396 in Iloilo Province, and 417 in Negros Occidental. OFW repatriates and locally stranded individuals still record the most number of cases with 1,519. Meanwhile, Bacolod City recorded 769 confirmed cases, while COVID-19 cases in Iloilo City increased to 839. In Mindanao, a total of 6,241 confirmed COVID-19 cases were reported, 4,123 have recovered, and the death toll is now at 163. Davao Region has recorded a total of 2,063 confirmed COVID-19 cases, 1,540 recoveries, and 66 deaths. Meanwhile, confirmed COVID-19 cases in northern Mindanao rose to 1,299, while the number of recoveries has increased to 690 and 21 have died. Soxargen has reported 424 confirmed cases, 319 recoveries, and 5 deaths. Zamboanga Peninsula now has 1,318 confirmed COVID-19 cases in the region, 775 have recovered, while the death toll is at 49. Caraga has also recorded 496 confirmed cases, 344 recoveries, and 5 deaths. In Barm, there are a total of 641 confirmed COVID-19 cases, 455 recoveries, and 17 deaths. I am Luan Merondina for GMA Regional TV.
After the twin bombings in Jolo, Sulu last Monday, authorities have placed several areas in Mindanao under heightened alert. We have Cyril Chavez of GMA Regional TV 1 Mindanao for the details live. Cyril?
Yes, Cecil, the cities of Cagayan de Oro, Zamboanga City, and Davao City are on full alert status. The Jolo bombing happened amid Cagayan de Oro's Higalaay Festival celebration, while Davao City commemorates the Rojas Night Market bombing 4th anniversary. In Zamboanga City, bomb-sniffing dogs were immediately deployed to secure the city. Early this week, 2 bombs exploded in Jolo, Sulu, killing soldiers, police, and civilians. In Cagayan de Oro, authorities are on full alert as the city celebrates its Higalaay Festival, especially with the feast of the city's patron saint, Señor San Agustin, held yesterday, August 28. The Cagayan de Oro City Police Office intensified its monitoring efforts, at the same time securing malls, markets, parks, and other vital installations. They have also coordinated with the Army and the Philippine Coast Guard to ensure the safety of Cagayanons.
We ask also the public to matabang sa tuwa kung may makita ninyo na mga suspicious item, suspicious na mga personahe, kindly report immediately to the person in authority.
In Davao City, members of Task Force Davao inspect motorcycles in the city, as one of the triggers during the Jolo bombing was a parked motorcycle carrying an improvised explosive device. The Police Regional Office 11 is on full alert status as well. They are also coordinating with the intelligence community in other areas, especially since one of the terrorist group Abu Sayyaf's leaders, Abdul Jihad Idang Susukan, was captured in Davao City last August 13. Davao City Mayor Sara Duterte has conveyed her sympathy to the families of the victims of the Jolo bombing. She also reminds Davaoeños to be vigilant at all times and help in securing the city as they commemorate the 4th anniversary of the Rojas Night Market bombing on September 2.
We express our sympathies sa mga taga-Jolo, and And kami ay nakikiisa sa pinagdadaanan ninyo, and we would like to express our deepest condolences to the families of those who died, were casualties sa bombing. Davao City is not immune sa ingon ani. In fact, duol na ang September 2.
Yes.
September 2 was the Rojas Night Market bombing. So kinahanglan, we should support the culture of security nato diri sa atua sa Davao City.
In Zamboanga City, K9 units that have just finished their 6-month training were immediately deployed to help secure the city. Mayor Beng Climaco said that the city's safety is of prime importance.
But always we have instructed the security forces to also check on the passengers, particularly with motorcycles that are left parked, that they should also do that. And the paneling was already done, even our borders, because our borders are very porous.
She also said that the community plays a big role in maintaining the city's peace and order situation.
That is why we have to work with not only our law enforcement agencies, the Philippine Coast Guard, but what is very important is we have a very good grasp and coordination of our barangays.
Cecil, despite all the tight security measures being implemented here in Mindanao due to the bombing, authorities are also urging the public to immediately report any suspicious individual or activities to further ensure the safety of the public. Cecil.
Thank you, Cyril Chavez. 8 died in an ambush in Cabacan, Cotabato just this afternoon. According to a police report, residents of Barangay Poblacion heard successive gunshots near the USM granary and machinery. Police and the military immediately responded. At the scene, they saw the lifeless bodies of the victims. All had multiple gunshot wounds. Cabacan Mayor Herlo Guzman Jr. said they are still identifying the victims.
The Bureau of Fire Protection Region 6 filed criminal charges against 3 persons over the power barge blast in Iloilo City last month. GMA Regional TV Zen Kilantang has the details.
The Bureau of Fire Protection on Monday filed a criminal complaint before the Iloilo City Prosecutor's Office against 3 individuals over the July 3rd explosion of Power Barge 102 owned by AC Energy Philippines. According to BFP Region 6 spokesperson Fire Senior Inspector Stefan Hardeleza, charges for violation of Article 365 of the revised Penal Code for reckless imprudence resulting in damage to property was filed against Adrian Budiola, welder, Ray Villarreal, supervisor, and Jethon Villarreal, safety officer. The 3 are all employees of Bulacan Power Generation Corporation who were directly responsible for the maintenance work on the AC Energy Power Barge.
Maintenance supervisor and safety officers, may ibalo sa ginapatigayon na may apang wala sila naghatag sang nagkakaibig ng supervision para nga masiguro nga hindi mag-aksidente, hindi magkalayo, hindi mag-ipok.
The BFP also discovered that the company does not have any permit for maintenance works and fire safety measures were not implemented, which resulted in the explosion, which led to the oil spill that affected several areas in Lapus District, Iloilo City, and several coastal areas in the towns of Iloilo and Guimaras. The Philippine Coast Guard Iloilo Station estimated around 251,000 liters of bunker fuel leaked out of the power barge following the explosion. Together with cameraman Romel Porquia, Zen Kilantang for GMA Regional TV.
With most public schools adapting to modular learning or using modules that will be distributed to all their students, one foreseeable problem is the shortage of bond paper supply and printing materials. Here's Nico Sereno of GMA Regional TV Balitang Bisdak for more details. Live, Nico.
Yes, my DepEd 7 Regional Director Dr. Salustiano Jimenez admitted that one of the concerns raised during their meeting with other superintendents is the scarcity of bond paper supply and other printing materials, especially for the second quarter of school year 2020-2021. While DepEd 7 has yet to receive an official complaint, Regional Director Dr. Salustiano Jimenez said reports reached his office that supply of bond paper is running low. Jimenez said The DepEd division of Siquijor expressed this concern after printing most of the modules for the first quarter of the coming school year. DepEd officials and teachers from Siquijor have difficulty traveling to nearby Cebu or Negros Oriental to purchase supplies.
Ipacheck yun sa DTI ang mga ning-ana kay kung na ay mga violations like labi na ng hoarding, pagpasakas presyo, so at least ilang mabantayan.
Meanwhile, the Department of Trade and Industry has ordered an investigation into the alleged low supply of bond papers and printing materials.
Valid kaya na nga concern. We will assure that there will be no shortage and unreasonable spikes in prices.
DTI Assistant Secretary Caberte warned stores and other supplies against hoarding.
It's a criminal offense. This is not the time for profiteering. In this pandemic, there's no place for profiteering. Mag-cooperate ang tanan.
To avoid a disruption in the printing of modules, DepEd Central Office will assist in the bidding and procurement of supplies.
Ipangtanaw karon unsay mga possible nga branches, for example sa National Printing Office nga nabas lay branch diri sa Cebu, sa Bohol, sa Negros or sa Siquijor kay mao po datong i-coordinate.
According to DepEd 7 data, there are 165 private schools that have started their online classes. Of the 1,500 private schools in Region 7, 8 schools informed DepEd that they are not opening this year. Based on the initial evaluation of DepEd 7 during their dry run conducted, parents, teachers, and students have slowly accepted and adapted to the modular method of learning. Enrollees in the public schools in Central Visayas increased by 6.7% or around 1.7 million students. Mai?
Thank you, Nico Sereno.
This is GMA Regional TV Weekend News. This is GMA Regional TV Weekend News.
It's all systems go for the National Census of Population and Housing, which will be conducted starting next month. Here's Rain Palino of RTV Bicol for the details. Live, Rain.
Alan, amid the COVID-19 pandemic, the Philippine Statistics Authority will push through with this year's national census starting on September 1.
In compliance with Republic Act 10625, a national census is to be conducted every 5 years. Through an online press conference, PSA Undersecretary Dennis Mapa discussed their preparations for the 2020 census. This includes the 5-day training for enumerators and the 6-day training for supervisors. According to PSA, there are 113,364 enumerators, 22,627 area supervisors, and 4,747 supervisors across the country. In Camarines Sur alone, there are more than 2,700 enumerators. As to the budget, the office has allotted 3.8 billion pesos for the 2020 census, which was already released prior to the pandemic. USEC MAPA shared that they had to make adjustments to the budget in order to address the need for protective equipment of enumerators. He added that some LGUs donated face masks and face shields as well as the rapid test of enumerators.
So ito pong mga proseso na to ay hindi ito ngayon lang namin sisimulan kasi dati na talaga gumagawa na kami ng mga alternative ways of collecting the data. So ang assumption talaga dito ay you are truthful. The household is truthful, the person is truthful in answering it. Pero pag may mga questions naman, ito ay i-verify via phone or via email, depending on kung ano yung information na binigay ng ating respondent.
USEC MAPA clarified that the census will not be used for contact tracing. However, they added questions about employment and presence of OFW in the household to identify the impact of COVID-19.
Maganda yung aming koordinasyon. Pag sinabi nila na itong area na to ay skip muna namin, pansamantala, ito po'y gagawin namin.
PSA also ensured the confidentiality of the collected data, the hard copy of which will be kept in a secure storage facility and will be shredded after a certain number of years. Based on PSA's July 2020 projected population, there are 108.8 million Filipinos. 53.9 million are female while 54.9 million are male. In the Bicol region, based on the 2015 census, the province of Camarines Sur has the highest population at 1.5 million, while Albay ranks second with a population of 1.31 million. However, some Nagueños reacted negatively to the census that will be conducted next week.
Face-to-face, minsan kaya pag online po, minsan maluya po ang signal, minsan nag-ano po ang mga signal ta. Iyo po, pero basta siguro po magsunod lang sa protocol.
Siguro mas okay ngayon yung online pa rin kasi unang-una safe. Mas madali ngayon kasi kahit sa data lang o kahit sa maraming internet access ngayon, mas madali doon.
Meanwhile, in Central Visayas, more than 20,000 enumerators have been hired. Starting last month until this week, rigid training for the enumerators have been conducted, including the observation of safety and health protocols as we are still in the middle of a pandemic.
Kinahanglan mo participate na tanan, wa may gipilian tanang tao, mabata kag matigulang, mamasuso kag unsa nakakatiguang nga diha, ma-official ka man o ma-ordinaryong tao.
The PSA has also coordinated with local governments to include the census of houses in subdivisions and even those residing under the bridges. Noel Rafal, spokesperson of PSA Region 7, is asking for the public's cooperation. The LGUs express support to the project. The census will start from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Mondays to Saturdays, but they will also conduct the census on Sunday nights for those who have work on weekdays. The last census was conducted in 2015, recording the Philippine population at 198 million.
Alan, the census will start on September 1 except in Masbate, Jolo, parts of Ilocos region and those areas under lockdown. This is due to earthquake, bombing, and cases of COVID-19. Alan?
Thank you, Rain Palino.
Cabinet officials and members of the Interagency Task Force arrived in Bacolod City, Negros Occidental this week after Mayor Evelio Leonardia pleaded for President Duterte's help amid the growing numbers of COVID-19 positive cases in the city. Adrian Prietos of GMA Regional TV 1 Western Visayas will give us the update live. Adrian?
Yes, Cecil, as cases of COVID-19 continue to rise, Bacolod City Local Government Unit sought the intervention of the national government. On Wednesday this week, 3 cabinet officials arrived carrying the president's mandate, that is, to exhaust all efforts to help Bacolod City.
We are here to help Bacolod, help the people, help the mayor, to make sure to cooperate with your leaders. Kasi this is the formula that we had adopted in Cebu.
Simato cited that the number of COVID cases in Bacolod and Negros Occidental are lower compared to that of Cebu, where it was declared as a hotspot. Joining Simato is Presidential Assistant for the Visayas, Secretary Michael Loydino, and IATF Deputy Chief Implementer in Cebu, retired Major General Mel Feliciano.
Ang akin lang is, kahit na ilang EOs gawin ni Mayor, ilang how many times he warned the Bacolod dons. Pero if you do not follow, if you do not have discipline, self-discipline, wala talaga mangyayari.
Bacolod City Mayor Evelio Leonardia requested the DOH to augment the city's medical workforce by sending nurses, doctors, and medical technologists. In response to Bacolod's appeal, doctors and nurses from the Department of Health and Armed Forces of the Philippines were deployed.
Diri sa aton sa Bacolod, antes ini maglala pagid, kinanlan tani ang tanan nga suporta nga makuha naton. Kag kun baga daw tourniquet balani nga unta-tunta ang bleeding. We must not allow an hemorrhage here. So, diri pa nga daan tap na unta.
A command center will be set up in the region to supervise the flow of information in Bacolod and Iloilo. A dialysis center will also be set up outside the Corazon-Ocsin Montelibano Memorial Regional Hospital in Bacolod City to ensure that services will not be hampered.
One of the prominent reasons is the resignation of their staff. Wala na may mag-alaga sa mga ilang mga regular patients, much more sa COVID.
Vice Mayor Elcid Familiaran, who heads the Bacolod IATF, also underscored that the city's healthcare system is on the brink of collapsing.
The problem is getting worse, no? I think
Kung nabasihan ka 2 weeks ago, napagwa ang World Health Organization and that ang ating Department of Health na may new strain na nakita din sa Philippines. And that I think it's a mutation of lain-lain na mga strains pala. Kasi nga itong mga OFWs, lain-lain na countries na nila
Before arriving in Bacolod City, the team of Simato and Dino first visited Iloilo City and discussed the urgency of sending 3,000 specimens to Cebu to address the backlogs of the Western Visayas Medical Center Subnational Laboratory.
Natagaan sa solusyon nga ang aton nga backlog na 3,000 ka mga specimen diri sa Western Visayas o kung sa may SNL naton dalon sa Cebu subong adlaw no. Kag dito naton Iran para nga ang backlog diri sa aton makuha na kag makabalik na sa normal.
The National IATF will also add law enforcement personnel, doctors and nurses.
Satisfied man siya no, sa mga response naton sa syudad no. Galing kay kinahanglan lang naton i-anticipate nga in case nga base bala mag sitwasyon naton nga magpareho sa Cebu City, mayara na kita sa mga gina-implement nga daan para hindi na kita kalapot sa amo sina.
Cecil retired General Mel Feliciano vowed to return to Western Visayas next week to oversee the efforts of the national government in Iloilo and Bacolod City to help curb the effects of COVID-19 in the entire region. Back to you, Ces.
Thank you, Adrian Prietos.
The province of Samar has temporarily stopped receiving locally stranded individuals to ease the load of their already full quarantine facilities. Nico Sereno of GMA Regional TV Balitang Bisdak for more details.
In an interview with GMA Regional TV Live, Samar Governor Reynolds Michael Tan said the province has implemented a moratorium for the arriving LSIs. The moratorium, which will last until September 24, will give the LGUs in the province of Samar time to disinfect and prepare their quarantine facilities for the next batch of arriving LSIs.
Gusto sana mo nga temporarily i-hold sa ang pag-abot sa mga LSIs to give way nga ma-out sa ang mga naapa sa mga quarantine facilities sa mga LGUs, and after that we will continue to accept again sa mga LSI.
Catbalogan City, which is the capital of Samar Province, has over 200 COVID-19 positive cases. 110 health workers in the Samar Provincial Hospital contracted the virus. 3 areas, Catbalogan City, Villarreal, and Basay, recorded cases of local transmission. According to the governor, of the 24 municipalities and 2 cities in the province, only 4 municipalities are COVID-19 free.
We were forced to make that decision kay if we do not, mas dugang nga ma-paralyze pagod ang services kung pasagdan lang pud namo nga basig mo daghan pa.
The governor called on the people of Samar to be vigilant and strictly follow the quarantine protocols to prevent the further spread of COVID-19. I'm Nico Sereno for GMA Regional TV.
This is GMA Regional TV Weekend News. This is GMA Regional TV Weekend News.
The 85-year-old Archbishop Emeritus in the Archdiocese of Lingayen, Dagupan and former CBCP President died Wednesday morning. He was a vocal critic from the different administration in their campaign against illegal gambling. Jasmine Gabriel Galban of GMA Regional TV Balitang Amianan will give us the update live. Jasmine.
Cecil, many were saddened by the death of longtime head of the Archdiocese of Lingayen, Dagupan, Archbishop Emeritus Oscar Cruz. Selfless, kind and jolly. That is how Archbishop Emeritus Oscar Cruz will be remembered by his colleagues. On Wednesday morning, Catholics grieved when they learned the passing of the former president of Catholic Bishops' Conference of the Philippines and Lingayen Dagupan Archbishop Emeritus Oscar Cruz. The 85-year-old Archbishop died due to COVID-19, according to Lingayen Dagupan Archbishop Socrates Villegas.
Si Archbishop ay
kilala bilang isang disciplinarian na obispo, pero siya ay mapagmahal. Yan ang hindi masyadong alam ng mga tao. He's a very loving, considerate, understanding bishop.
Please pray for all. Please help us pray. Pray for everybody here. And we will pray for you too.
Archbishop Cruz was born on November 17, 1934 in Balanga, Bataan. He was ordained as priest in 1961 and as bishop in 1976. He served as auxiliary bishop of Manila from 1976 until he was appointed Archbishop of San Fernando, Pampanga in 1978 and Archbishop of Lingayen, Dagupan in 1991. He served as the president of Catholic Bishops' Conference of the Philippines from 1995 to 1999. Cruz has been a vocal critic of the government during different administrations and campaigned against illegal gambling in the country. Yesterday, August 28, Archbishop Cruz was finally laid to rest in Santuario de San Juan Evangelista in Dagupan City. His burial was attended by his friends and family.
Yung kanyang pag-iisip niya talaga, straightforward siya. Saka sila magkakapatid, since they were born and they lived through World War II, mga strict sila. Talagang they stick with the rules and regulations. Ganyan siya.
Although Archbishop Cruz is now resting in peace, he will surely be alive in the hearts of his loved ones and to those whose lives were touched by his teachings. Cecil, in a letter read during the funeral mass, Pope Francis expressed sadness on the passing of Archbishop Emeritus Oscar Cruz. His Holiness sends a prayerful condolences to the whole Lingayen Dagupan Archdiocese. Cecil?
Thank you, Jasmine Gabriel Garban.
As the pandemic continues to pull down the morale of many, GMA Regional TV continues to uplift the spirits of our kapuso as it brings another round of kapuso bharangayan on wheels. This time in the cities of Cagayan de Oro and Talisay, Cebu. Sarah Hilomen Velasco of GMA Regional TV 1 Mindanao with the story.
Edilita Balaba was emotional as she received her food relief pack during the Kapuso Barangayan on Wheels in Barangay 24, Cagayan de Oro City. Edilita, whose husband is a tricycle driver, said that the pandemic has truly affected their livelihood.
Lisod gyud gyapon. Manang dako kay among pasalamat nga nakabot diri ang GMA Kapuso.
Rodora Pasyente also expressed her gratitude after receiving her share.
Kuan, tinabangon. Ragad sa mga tao. Dako kong salamat sa GMA. Naghatag mga kayuhan sa tao.
33-year-old Irene Niliama felt blessed to be one of the more than 100 beneficiaries from Barangay San Isidro, Talisay City, Cebu. She received a bag full of fresh vegetables during the Kapuso Barangayan on Wheels as part of GMA Network's 70th anniversary.
Nagpasalamat ko nga usa ko sa napilian sa GMA. Nagpasalamat ko sa inyong nga sa inyong mga hinabang nga gihatag ninyo namo karon. Salamat kaayo GMA Regional TV, happy 70th anniversary.
Edilita, Rodora, and Irene were among the hundreds of recipients of the Kapuso Barangayan on Wheels in their respective barangays. Anchors and correspondents of GMA Regional TV 1 Mindanao and Balitang Bisdak willingly took part in repacking and writing messages of hope for our Kapuso in these trying times. To ensure the safety of beneficiaries, the Kapuso team disinfected the venues. While all beneficiaries went through strict health protocols. They wore face masks, had their body temperatures checked, stepped on foot baths, sanitized their hands, and practiced social distancing. And as each beneficiary received their share, gratitude and happiness can still be glimpsed behind their masks. One of the reasons why GMA Regional TV continues to spread kindness. I am Sarah Hilomen Velasco for GMA Regional TV.
This is GMA Regional TV Weekend News. This is GMA Regional TV Weekend News.
A jeepney driver in Davao City unwittingly promotes honesty among his passengers. Let's find out how in this report of Tec Ocampo of GMA Regional TV 1 Mindanao.
Jeepney driver Boyet Lozada ferries passengers to and from Barangay Catalonan Grande and Rojas Avenue in Davao City. He rents this jeepney unit for 400 pesos. Since he can only pick up a few passengers, his earnings are not enough to provide for his family.
Karon ginansya ron sa 5 ka round trip 300 ana. Sahay 350. Mao ra gini ginansya sa amo karon. Swerte na 350 karon panahon na sa pandemya.
In spite of this, Boyd still decided to pursue his concept of an honesty jeep, relying on the truthfulness and integrity of his passengers. Because the jeepney was designed to safeguard the health and safety of the passengers from COVID-19, a solid wood plank serves as a barrier between him and his passengers. Each passenger will just have to give their fare through a small opening. Because of this, he will never know who among his passengers pays the fare and who does not.
Para i-promotar lang gud nya kanang magtarong na gyud bayad ang mga pasahero pod. O mo ning na gikuha na og honesty jeep.
Being the driver of the honesty jeep and well aware that we are in the midst of the pandemic, Boyet says he will understand if some passengers pay less than the standard fare.
Say kulangan pod gamay. Say kulang piso dos ana. Pero sama okay na lang siya kay. Sama to pahit sa panahon ron.
He said that even if he may be shortchanged, he will never fall short in reminding passengers to follow minimum health protocols in all honesty. Together with cameraman Jojo Solarte, I'm Tec Ocampo for GMA Regional TV.
Despite the pandemic, Cagayan de Oro City is still in high spirits as Cagayanon celebrate the Higalay Festival. Meanwhile, the new Miss Cagayan de Oro 2020 was crowned via a virtual pageant. Cyril Chavez of GMA Regional TV 1 Mindanao tells us more.
With the threat of COVID still looming, Cagayanons pushed through with the celebration of the Higalay Festival this week. What used to be a colorful and exciting celebration, this year's Higalay Festival was a toned-down version, adhering to minimum public health standards. A Holy Mass was presided by Archbishop Jose Araneta Cabantan, the new head of the Archdiocese of Cagayan de Oro City, to honor the city's patron saint, Señor San Agustin, although only a few were allowed entry into the church.
With Christian obedience, I shall follow what the bishops, as authentic doctors and teachers of the faith, declare, or what they, as those who govern the church, establish.
A simple fluvial procession followed.
Viva Señor San Agustin! Viva! Viva!
Meanwhile, the new Miss Cagayan de Oro 2020 was crowned during the pageant's first ever virtual pageant. 3 well-known personalities were among the judges, including Vice President and Head of GMA Regional TV and Synergy, Mr. Oliver Victor B. Amoroso, Miss Universe Philippines 2012, Hemelin Escudero Tamayo, and the Philippines icon in fashion design, Rene Salud.
The candidates will be judged according to this criteria.
8 candidates showcased their beauty and talent in the different categories, among which are the swimsuit and long gown competitions.
And this year's best in swimsuit is candidate number 6.
Candidate number 6, Jeza Relevo, won best in swimsuit and long gown. And candidate number 8, Kisi Lagang's designer, Joshua Gibune, won best in design. And to complete the excitement, Kapuso hunk Rojun Cruz serenaded the candidates.
We were just kids when we fell in love, not knowing what it was. I will not give you up this time.
Only 3 contenders remain in the final stretch in the question and answer portion. And finally, the announcement of the new Miss Cagayan de Oro 2020.
Candidate number 6.
Jeza Relevo of Barangay Bonbon became the new Miss Cagayan de Oro 2020. Together with cameraman James Yap, I am Cyril Chavez for GMA Regional TV.
We would like to thank everyone from around the Philippines as well as our kapuso abroad for watching our episode.
You can watch this episode and more on GMA Regional TV's official website, www.gmaregionaltv.com, as well as our YouTube channel. Just click the subscribe button to get the hottest news from the regions.
Thank you for joining us, and from all of us here in Central and Eastern Visayas,
This has been GMA Regional TV Weekend News, where local news matters.
Stay safe, mga kapuso!